Hello, and thank you for pressing play today. We're going to be doing a pre-Pilates mat workout, and this is going to help get you prepared for traditional Pilates mat work. We'll be talking about breath and about spinal alignment, what neutral spine means, and then just variations from there. So find your mat, open it up. You may need a pillow for your head. I also have a stretchy band that I'm going to use, and then a ball is also optional. A smaller ball or a ball about this size would be great. Let's get started. I'm going to start out laying on my back on my mat. So just releasing down to the floor. And then once I'm laying down, I want to check and see where my gaze is. Ideally, I want to be looking straight up at the ceiling, and I don't want my head shifted back in this kind of a position. So if you feel like you're looking back over your head, you're going to want to find a pillow to place under your head to get your gaze directly up. From here, we're laying in neutral spine. Neutral spine is the natural curvature of our spine. So I've got below my deep belly area is touching the mat. My waist area is light or maybe not even touching at all. And then of course my upper rib cage area is touching. My neck is lifted, and then my head is heavy. So this is just naturally how our spine is curved, and we start in this position for a tail tuck. So I'm going to inhale and expand my rib cage, take in air as my ribs open up a little bit. And then exhaling to draw the ribs down and tighten the abdominals with the exhale. Let's inhale again, open. And exhale to tighten the abs and sink the belly down. Good, I'm trying to keep neutral spine while I'm doing this. So I'm not changing the shape of my spine at all. Another big inhale. And this time I'm going to pull my belly button down so that the back of my waist touches the mat, and I'm also going to peel my tailbone up just a little bit. I'm going to inhale back to neutral, and now I'm moving out of neutral spine into a little bit of spinal flexion. Hollowing the belly, tucking the tail a bit. I can feel my low back and my waist press to the floor. And then inhale back to neutral. And this prepares us for a bridge. I'm going to tail tuck, hollow my belly, peel my tailbone up, and then I press through my feet to start to lift my low back up off of the mat. Good, and now my shoulders are heavy. I can actually press my shoulders down into the floor. My feet are pressing down, and then of course my hamstrings and glutes are tight, because they're helping to squeeze my hip area up. Good, I'm gonna start to lay the spine back down, and I'm actually rolling it down, trying to lay one vertebra down at a time until I'm back down to a relaxed neutral spine. I'm gonna get a fresh breath here. And I'm gonna exhale to do my second bridge. So hollowing out the tummy, tucking the tail under, pushing through my heels to peel up my back, my spine off of the mat. Good, I'm in a nice lifted bridge, my hips are open, and this might cause you to feel a hamstring cramp in the back of your leg, and that would be very normal. We're gonna lay the spine back down. I'm lengthening the spine out as I release to the floor, and then relax. Good, let's do one more here. I'm going to bring my feet in a little bit closer. You could give that a try. It might make your bridge feel more supported. Inhaling to start. Exhaling to hollow out the tummy, peeling the tail up, and finding ourselves in a bridge. There we are. Awesome work. Good. So if this causes you hamstring cramping, feel free to not come up as high, and to just practice that tail tuck until your hamstrings get a little bit stronger, and they'll get stronger. Here at the top, I'm gonna get a fresh inhale, and I'm gonna exhale, right leg up to tabletop. I'm going to lower that leg down, land it on the floor, get a fresh inhale. Exhale to drain the weight out of my left foot and bring it up to tabletop. Good, and I'm going to lower it down. I'm trying to keep my hips really nice and even while I'm in this position. Maybe you're just going to drain the weight out of one foot. Maybe you don't need to lift it up as high. Just practicing to see if we can shift the weight of the body to one side and then the other without rocking the hips. You want to keep those hips nice and even. As we drain the weight out, maybe raise a leg up to tabletop, bring it down, and you can always take a break, bring your hips down, get a fresh breath, and then bring yourself back up and start again. Good, so this is just a great way to work the back side of the body, the glutes and the hamstrings, really getting some good work. Laying the spine back down and releasing to neutral. I'm going to grab my stretchy band and show you how to release the hamstrings, because we had some big contractions going on there, and that can often kind of cause cramping, and it just feels really nice to stretch the hamstring out. So if you have a stretchy band, you'll want to find it and place it over the ball of your foot, and then you're going to grab on either side of the band and pull the elbows down towards the floor. So this is just a nice stable place for my upper body to hold while I work on stretching my hamstring. I'm going to press the heel up towards the ceiling and try to heavy my tailbone towards the mat. So the back of the leg lengthening. Now, if you don't have a stretchy band, no worries. You can just grab behind the leg somewhere and pull it in towards your upper body and get that same kind of a stretch. You could have a bent leg with your opposite leg, or it could be lengthened out. Either way works just fine. Very similar stretch. The stretchy band is really nice if you happen to have one. Good, pressing the heel up. We're going to soften the knee and then exhale to press to a straight leg. Inhaling to soften. Exhaling to press. Heel up to the ceiling. Try to keep those toes aligned with your knee and your ankle. So if you're looking up, you should find just a nice line right down to the hip joint. We soften and then we exhale to press that heel up. Fantastic work. Good, good, good. Are you enjoying the stretch? It should feel a little bit challenging, but also nice after the bridging work that we did. Good. And so I'm just going to switch feet and place it over the other foot. Good. Fresh inhale, exhaling those arms down and just lining up that foot with the hip, knee, ankle, and toes. Good. So quickly, you're definitely feeling the stretch in the back of the leg. We'll add on to that. We're going to soften the knee with an inhale, and then we're going to exhale to press the heel up and pull the tailbone down to the mat. So that's just doing everything we can to lengthen the back of the leg. You may not end up in a straight leg, but at least you know that's the goal we're aiming for. And the more we work on this, our bodies are amazingly responsive to work. You will make progress for sure. Good. Heel up, tailbone down, back of the leg nice and long. Inhale, exhale to press. Sometimes we need that little break with the softening of the knee, the inhale, and then exhaling to press that leg out. And this is the more painful part of the stretch. Not a terrible sharp pain, but we just know we're really stretching out muscles that need to be lengthened. And a healthy muscle is a muscle that can really contract and tighten well, but it can also be lengthened long. And that's one of the Pilates principles. We're looking for strong and long muscles. Inhale to soften, exhale to press. Fantastic. Let's unloop that foot and bring that off to the side. The next prop I'm going to use is my squishy ball. So if you have, even a tennis ball might work for this, or a bigger ball this size with a little bit of ability to squeeze. So I'm going to roll myself down, place that ball between my inner thighs. And from here, I'm just gonna stay in neutral spine. A fresh inhale. And I'm gonna exhale to press in on that ball as I deflate my belly. Let the air go out. Inhale. We soften the squeeze on the ball, and then we exhale to squeeze in and deflate the belly and engage those deep abdominals. And release. And exhale to squeeze in on the ball. Spine is not moving, it's staying neutral here. Good, and that nice squeeze in on the ball does some great connecting in with our deep abdominals. So when the inner thighs connect and pull towards your center line, it also crosses up into the deep abdominal muscles and helps us engage the deep abdominals and strengthen them, which is what we're trying to do here. Big inhale, exhale for that squeeze. Good, and we're looking for big, long breaths. We want to expand our rib cage with a full inhale. And then exhale long and slow. And inhale and expand. And the exhale is deepening the abdominal contraction. The more air goes out, the tighter the abdominals become. Good. So if you don't have the ball, no problem, set it aside. You can bring those inner thighs closer together and just squeeze the inner thighs together. So you're going to be feeling that connection towards your center line as the knees press in towards one another. Still great inner thigh work without the ball. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and raise one leg to tabletop. A fresh inhale, and we're gonna exhale the other leg to tabletop. Once both of your legs are up, you should notice that it feels like work in the abdominals to hold yourself here. So I still have my neutral spine. My waist area of my back is not heavy to the mat. It is neutral. If this is too hard to hold in this position, we could just have one leg up rather than two. We're gonna get a fresh inhale, lace the hands behind our head, and we exhale to sink the belly and curl up, head, neck, and shoulders. Releasing the spine down. Exhaling for the curl. Inhaling to lower. And I've got my elbows tipped in, and I'm using lots of support for my head, so my head and neck do not feel strained. It's my rib cage that's curling up and the deep abdominals on the front side that are doing the work. We've got one more rib cage curl here, and I'll just note that as I curl up, I'm thinking about my lowest rib getting closer to my hip bone. And release down. We'll bring that foot down. We'll bring the other foot up for that rib cage curl. Inhaling to lower. Exhaling to curl up. Elbows tipped in. You can see your elbows in your peripheral vision. Release that back down. We've got two more here. Remember, your head gets to rest in your hands. Try to keep that neutral spine. Exhale for your curl. And release down. We're going to let the upper body rest for a little bit because ribcage curls are very challenging for the core. We're going to alternate that leg up to tabletop. We can exhale to raise it and inhale to lower it. And we exhale to raise and inhale to lower. If this feels very easy, I'm going to invite you to bring both legs up to tabletop, and we can just alternate a toe tap down. So lower and lift, exhale, inhale. The inclination here for our spine is to want to arch the back up while we're doing this, but our job with maintaining a strong neutral spine is to exhale the toe down and keep the spine neutral. So not changing your spine as you lower and lift those feet. And please note that we're opening the hip joint, not the knee joint. The knee joint is staying about 90 degrees, and I'm just taking the leg away and back up. Exhale, inhale, and it's our last two here. Fantastic work. Good, bringing it up. Holding, keeping that neutral spine. We're activating the abdominals, but we're not pressing the spine all the way down. Lowering those feet. Excellent work. So we're gonna add on to our rib cage curl with an oblique twist. So I'm gonna put my left hand behind my head, and then my right arm is gonna be stretching far away. I'm gonna get a fresh inhale here. Exhale to curl, and then bring that arm to the opposite knee. Try to sink the belly down. Inhale to rest back. Exhale for the curl. Inhale to open. Exhale. Reaching for that opposite knee. One shoulder is up higher than the other. Lowering down. Exhale. Sink the tummy. Reach. Twist. Drawing that one shoulder up. And working the obliques on this side where my elbow is up. Switching out arms. So I've got my head supported. It should not feel too much strain. Fresh inhale. Exhale to curl and reach. Again, rib and hip bone squeezing in closer together on the side that I'm twisting to. Exhale, curl till all your air is gone. Hold yourself up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl. Sink the belly. And one more time, a big inhale. Supporting the head, sinking the belly, reaching over that knee, and lowering down. Fantastic work. Let's rock ourselves up to seated, and we're gonna switch ourselves to 4-point kneeling. So my wrists are right under my shoulders, knees are right under my hips, and I have sort of a box shape here in the center. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're keeping our neutral spine. From here, a fresh inhale. We can exhale up to a cat stretch. I'm gonna hollow my belly, let my head dive forward, and tuck my tail under. So resisting and pushing away from the mat through my feet, as well as the palms of my hand. I'm gonna come right back to neutral with an inhale. And I'm gonna exhale to go up into cow, the cat-cow. The cow portion is a little bit of spinal extension. So I'm pushing through the palms of my hand, raising my chest up to the front, opening my heart forward, and then lifting my tail behind me. Right back through neutral, we get a fresh inhale. Exhale up to cat. Slide back through neutral. And then exhaling up to cow. Remember, opening the shoulders, opening the chest forward, lifting the tail. Mid-back sinks, where my waist is, kind of sinks low. Good, slide through neutral, get a fresh inhale. Exhale up to cat stretch. Push through the front of the feet, palms of the hands, right through neutral. Inhale, and then exhale for that press up. Yes, good. Lift the tail, open the shoulders, lift the chest, mid-back sinks, and then right back to neutral. Good, we're gonna do a little tail wag side to side, and I'm really bringing my hip bone up towards my armpit from one side to the other. And so this is spinal mobility in a side flexion kind of a movement. So wagging the tail, bringing the lower part of the spine side to side. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Wonderful work. If your wrists are getting tired of being in this position, you can always slide back Give ourselves a little roll out, a little wrist release. And then as we come forward, we could have our hands in a different position. And the fist position is pretty nice because my wrist gets to be neutral and it's not in such a strong degree of, the bend is not quite so much. Good, so from here, we're gonna hold our neutral spine. We've been moving the spine about, but right now our goal is to maintain neutral. And I'm going to try to stretch out opposite arm and leg. So my left leg, my right arm, reach out. I'm still touching the floor and I've got the support of the balance with those limbs being down. Another fresh inhale. And I'm gonna exhale to try to lift them up to shoulder height. Now, if this is too much, if it's too challenging, we can always just stay with the leg and the arm reaching out, but not raised up off of the floor. The floor is there to help us balance and regroup if we need to. Otherwise, exhaling up to a long arm and a long leg. Whoa, feeling that balance challenge. Yes, we are. Bring it in. Other side. Let's exhale out to lengthened. And if we're feeling good about this, another big breath, and we exhale up to shoulder height and hip height. Try to keep that belly engaged. Good, holding and reaching, keep breathing here. Good, maintaining that neutral spine. Belly gets nice and engaged and tight as we exhale. Bringing it down, finding our nice square, even position. Let's do that one more time on each side. Fresh inhale. Exhale to reach it out and maybe reach it up. Balancing here. So the hand that is on the floor, I'm pushing away from the floor, activating that arm, doing lots of work to hold me stable here. Abs are nice and engaged. Bring that down, fresh inhale. Exhaling the other arm and leg out and maybe up. Good. So really reach through your fingertips, reach through your toes. Try to make the longest line you can. And then of course my hand that's on the mat, resisting strongly away from the mat. I'm using some shoulder muscles, some chest muscles to hold me stable here. Good. Bringing it in. Let's slide back to child's pose. Give our low back a nice release. Good, and if getting your head all the way down on the mat is too low, we can always just hold it up a little bit. Get that low back release. Fantastic work. We're gonna come forward for some belly down work. So bringing the tummy down to the mat. And then I'm gonna stack my hands on top of each other, and then my forehead has a place to rest, and my nose is hovered just above the mat. I'm gonna get a fresh inhale here, and then as I exhale, I'm gonna notice how I can tighten my abdominals and my belly feels like it's getting lighter on the floor. Inhale to start. Tummy's heavy, and then I exhale as the belly engages and tightens and almost wants to lift off of the mat. Good, inhaling. And on my exhale this time, I'm gonna try to shoot energy out my legs. So when I'm in this position, I don't want my low back doing all of the work to support my heavy legs. I want to exhale using my deep abdominals. So fresh inhale. As I exhale, I'm gonna try to tighten my belly as the legs reach out and away. So I'm not trying to reach my legs high, I'm trying to reach my legs long. Really solid that down, get a fresh inhale. Exhale, belly tightens. My pubic bone gets heavy on the mat, but my belly button gets a little lighter. Good, lower with an inhale. And exhale, belly engages, pubic bone heavy, and legs hover just a little bit. Fantastic work. Let's release the lower body down. I'm gonna reach my arms out to long in front of me. My nose is barely hovered above the mat. And now we're gonna be lifting up the upper part of the body. Inhale to start. Exhale to peel the chest up just a little bit, and your arms may slide back. You may be able to press out of your arms to find some upper body lift here. So opening the chest, melting the shoulders, and then slowly releasing yourself back down. Exhaling for that chest lift. Good. Lower body is still reaching nice and long as I peel my chest up in a little tiny swan or a mini cobra. Release back down. We've got one more of these. We're still exhaling to tight abdominals so our low back does not feel strained. Pressing through the shoulders and through the arms to lift the chest up. Good, and releasing myself back down. I'm just gonna take those arms and sweep them back towards my feet, palms up towards the ceiling. And as I do some little pulses up, I start to notice my triceps. Good, and I still have my neutral spine, and I'm inhaling and exhaling. And as I exhale, my deep belly gets tight. Good, inhale, exhale. And if you want to shoot energy out those legs, feel free to add that on. If you want to peel the chest up a little bit, you could add that on. Great work. If this is too much, we can always bring one hand forward and do one arm lifting. Keep breathing. Switch it out. Bring the other hand forward. Exhaling to pulse that arm up. The legs could be lifted or the legs could be resting. Either way works just great. We are wanting to notice that the abdominals engage strongly with each exhale. Good, and bring it forward. Let's come back up to 4-point kneeling. And in our 4-point kneeling pose, we're gonna work on some upper body strength. So we've got our kneeling position here. We're gonna bend the elbows. We're gonna dive the head forward a little bit, and then we're gonna press up to straight arms. So this is gonna help prepare us for planking when we get into traditional Pilates work. We bend the elbows, we lean forward, and we exhale to press up. You decide how big to make your elbow bend. It could be very tiny. Make it suitable to you. You want to feel challenged, but you also want it to be accessible. Elbows bend back, head and chest lean forward. Press yourself up to straight. Excellent. Let's bend those elbows. Lean in forward. Exhale to press up. And one more. Bend the elbows. Lean in forward. Press yourself up to straight. Excellent work. Excellent work. Can we tuck toes under? For both of those legs, get a fresh inhale. Exhale to lift those knees and find yourself in a pike position. Tail high, chest low, looking for some stretch here. Good, bringing the knees down, sliding back to child's pose, bringing those arms back beside your feet. Maybe your forehead is resting, or maybe you've got your forehead lifted. Either way is just fine. Good, giving the low back a little stretch, a little release here. And lifting up. Thank you so much for joining me for this pre-Pilates mat class. We were able to cover breathing and neutral spine and some very basic moves that we use in Pilates. I would encourage you to practice this a few times before moving on to more traditional Pilates mat work. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, please like it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.